Yeah, so chances are you've heard of junk fees. These are fees that are charged by hotels in addition to your room rate. But what you might be less familiar with is all the different names that they can go by. I'm talking about resort fees, destination fees, urban fees, even hospitality service fees. Now, whatever you call them, these rates are on the rise, and that makes it more likely that you could be hit by one in the future. Now, the best way to avoid these is simply to look before you book. And that might sound obvious, but it can be a little bit more difficult than that, and that's because these fees are often hidden. They can be in the fine print or simply in a smaller font. Sometimes they're not disclosed at all. But one common technique is to hide them until you're at the final page of the booking process, and then it pops up. Now, this is called drip pricing, and it's very effective because either travelers simply don't notice that the fees have appeared at the before they hit the buy button, or they do, but they've invested so much time at that point that they begrudgingly accept them rather than start the search process all over again. Now, another issue with these fees is that it makes it hard for consumers to price shop, and that's because some websites include them and some don't. So it's this transparency issue that is really at the heart of some of these new lawsuits and legislation that we're seeing. We saw two new bills being introduced to the U.S. Senate, one about junk fees, the other specifically about these hotel fees. And also last month, the state of Texas sued Booking Holdings for deceptive trade practices. Now, Booking operates popular websites like Priceline, Agoda, Kayak, and Booking.com. But it could be that this public pressure is in fact working, because research that I did for a story that we published on CNBC.com this morning did in fact show that Booking and Expedia were including the total price. That's fees plus room rates. But notice here, the goal of these lawsuits is not necessarily to eliminate these fees. It's just to make travelers more aware that they are there and that they will be on the hook to pay them if they book at a hotel that charges them.
What do travelers get for paying these fees? Because I would imagine that some travelers would be all right with the idea of paying for, say, an environmental charge.
So this is where this really gets interesting.
Yes.
So from what I can see, there's two main categories that you get. The first category I would call things that you were expecting to receive anyway. This is like access to pools, access to gyms, a bottle of water when you check in, or a newspaper upon request. These are all standard things that you would expect from 4- and 5-star hotels and that have been provided for many years. But the second would be discounts, either within the hotel or to local businesses. Now, I can tell you about one destination fee that I was charged that is the subject of the story that I published this morning, my efforts to try to get my money back because I didn't feel that it was adequately disclosed. But this was discounts to bike rentals, 8% off a hop-on, hop-off bus, zoos in every borough in New York, except for Staten Island. These are all fine things, but nothing that I could use or that I wanted.
Boy, where are these fees becoming the most rampant, Monica? Which part of the world? Do we know?
Yeah, so right now what you really need to watch out is in North America, and specifically certain cities. I'm talking about Miami, Las Vegas, certain parts of California, Hawaii, but New York. These fees have really jumped both in price and the number of hotels offering them in New York City. But far less in Europe, but I have found some in Asia. There is a website. It's called resortfeechecker.com. I found some mandatory fees in Kuala Lumpur, Phuket, Bali, even one place in Koh Samui charging 4 types of fees: water, electricity, admin, and utilities. But Expedia, to its credit, made it very apparent that if you book there, you will be paying.
Oh, wow.
Tough one for travelers. Thank you very much indeed for that, Monica. We'll see you at the top of the next hour.
Hi, I'm Emily Tan, and thanks for watching CNBC. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.